We will go through most of the basics of Davinci Resolve 16, including trimming videos, basic color grading and stabilizing, adding some music and titles to your video, fading them, and finally how to export your video. So once you open up Davinci Resolve 16, you should see a screen like this. We're going to come down to the bottom and click the new project, and then we're going to type in a name. I'm going to call mine tutorial 16, and then I am going to click on create. In today's video, we're just going to go over the very basics of Davinci Resolve. So we're going to be spending the majority of our time in the edit tab, which is the third one across, which looks like this, and the color tab, which is the fifth one across and looks like this. So what we're going to do first is go back to the edit tab, and we're going to import our videos that we're going to use in our project. We're going to do this by going into the media pool, and we're going to right click and click import media. Now what we're going to do is we're going to select the video files and the music files that we want to use in this video. So I want to use these 7 clips in my video, so I'm going to highlight all of them and click open. If you successfully imported your clips, they should show up on the left hand side. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to trim each of these clips into the important parts that we want to use for the video. We can do this in several ways. The first way is by clicking and dragging the clip straight onto the timeline like this, and then we can cut the clips by clicking on the end of the clip and dragging the video inwards like this. We can also do this from the front, click and drag like this. We can adjust the length of the clip. So the other way in which we can cut the clips is before actually importing it into the timeline. We can choose the starting point of the clip by right clicking and pressing mark in, and then go to the part of the clip where you want to end it and right click and then press mark out. Then once you have the 2 circles, you can drag the clip into your timeline, and it is already cut into the areas where you want it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move into the color tab, which is the 5th one across, and we are going to first, if the clip is unstable, we're going to go to the stabilizer, and then we're going to click on similarity and press stabilize to get the clip stabilized. My clip is already pretty stable, so it finishes very quickly. So once the video has been stabilized, I'm going to edit the colors. The color tab on Davinci Resolve is very complex and there is a lot of things that you can do. But for the purpose of today's video, I'm going to show you the very basics. So we're going to come down to the bottom left and we're going to increase the contrast of this video to about 1.3. We can increase and decrease by clicking, and then if you drag to the right, the contrast goes up, and if you drag to the left, the contrast goes down. So I'm going to leave the value at around 1.3. Next we're going to move on to the saturation and drag it up a little. We can also change this by just typing in the values. So I think for this saturation I'm going to put in 60 and press enter. And then I'm going to move to the second tab and I'm going to increase the shadows a little bit because the clip is looking a little dark, and I think for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to leave it here, and we're going to go back to the edit tab now. Now that the clip's been stabilized and colored, I'm going to add the music into the background. So we're going to go back into our media pool, and I'm going to click and hold the music and drag it into our timeline like this. So what I like to do with most of my videos is to start the video when the beat of the music changes a little bit. So we're going to find that point. So I think I like this beat here when the music changes right here at the start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the blade tool, which is over here. We're going to click the blade tool and we're going to cut the music where the beat changes, so I know where to start my video. And then once I know where to start the video, I'm going to click and drag the first clip and put it in line with where I just cut the video, and it should look a little bit like this. So right now the clip appears very suddenly and I want it to fade in. So we're gonna fade the clip in by zooming in onto our video clip, and on the top left there will be a white box which you can click and drag across. And by dragging this across, it adds a fade. Depending on how far you drag it, it increases the length of the fade. So I want my fade to be at around here. And now you can see the difference. It's going to gradually fade the clip in like this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut and color the rest of the clips and add them to my timeline. And we're going to skip ahead till we finish this process because it's just going to be a repeat of what I was doing right now. Okay, now I have all 6 of my clips trimmed and color corrected. So what I'm going to do now is, because we're not going to use the whole song, I'm going to cut the end of the music with the blade tool, like this. And then I am going to right click and delete the rest of the music that we're not going to use. And also I don't want the music cutting out very fast, so I'm going to click and drag to fade the music out. And same with the video clip, it's going to fade out with the music like this, and it will look something like this right now. The last thing that we're going to do in this Davinci Resolve tutorial is we're going to add a title on top of one of our videos. So first we're going to find the place where we want to add our title. I'm going to add my title here. So we're going to come down to the toolbox on the left hand side. We're going to go down to titles, and then we're going to click and drag the text on top of the video where we want the title to start. And then we're going to click on the title and we're going to change the name. So for this one I'm going to call it Davinci Resolve 16 tutorial. And we can change the font just underneath. I decided to make my font this one called O Now. And what we're going to do now is we're going to increase the size by clicking and dragging this. You can also just type in a number, so I'm going to make mine 190. I think this is good. And then I'm going to change it to bold. And again, I'm going to make this fade in. So I'm going to click and drag the white box across like this. And hopefully you'll fade in like this. And then I also want the title to fade out, so I'm going to click and drag the white box across again, like this. Also, if you're going to have multiple titles throughout your video, you can just right click, copy, and paste the text where you're going to have it, paste, and then you can just change the text you want. So I'm going to write thank you for watching, and then we have another set of text. We're just going to align this to the end, make it fade out with the video, fade in a little bit. Sorry, I forgot to show you how to export the actual video once you're finished. So you're going to come down to the very last box on the bottom, which is the export tab. Here we're going to browse and find the location where we want to save the video. So I'm just going to save it to my desktop. I'm going to choose a name, Davinci Resolve Tutorial. Then we're going to come down here, we can change the format. I'm just going to export it as a MP4 file. And once you have all the settings, you're going to press add to render queue and then click start render. And this should give you your finished clip, which I'm going to show you right now. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe. My name is Ryuta, and as always, I will see you again in the next video. You feel so far away, though you're close.
with your mind